Hey there, it's Shoutcast. Thanks for joining me again. In this game it's going to be a Terran vs Terran. I randomed Terran on Shattered Temple. It's me, Shoutcast, spawning on the 3 o'clock position as the blue Terran, and LOL, great name, as the red Terran in the 12 o'clock position. Now in this game, it was a Marine SCV timing push, aka an all-in. There's no real recovering from that time push unless you deal so much damage that you're actually ahead on the SCVs that you leave at your base. But it's something that occurs relatively often, and a lot of races have a hard time defending it. Terran, of course, is probably your best off defending it as, but you can't really wall your ramp in Terran vs Terran because if siege tanks show up, they're going to have the distance on your buildings because you can't place your tanks there, so they're always going to outrange your tanks if they're sieging your top of your ramp, so you can't really build buildings there in Terran vs Terran, so you build them a little bit farther back. As you see, I'm building my supply depot back here next to the command center. Another common place is somewhere like over here or over here, watching for drop play, getting in a position. Now in a very odd position is actually LOL's supply depot, and I believe he's building it here because you can 2 building block off the bottom of your ramp, which denies scouting very early. And it kind of intimates, like, hey, I'm going for an expansion very quickly. I did random this, so he doesn't know what race I am. So for all he knows, I could be Protoss or Zerg, and walling at the bottom of your ramp isn't necessarily terrible versus Zerg. It's not great. It's not terrible, though. Roaches could shoot Marines if they're standing on the ramp shooting down, or the Roaches could shoot the buildings, so that could be a really big issue. But versus Ling play, not that big of a deal. And he is 3-raxing right off the bat here. Looks like he's already cut SCV production at least slightly in order to get these Raxes out so fast. So he had I think 11 racks and then double 12 or 12-13 racks. And meanwhile, I'm going with a pretty standard build. I am at 15 getting my orbital right now. I have my barracks out. I'm pumping out a Marine to go check the top of my ramp. My refinery is done. I'm getting gas. Dropping a supply depot up here, which is the most likely place for drops in close air positions. They're going to sneak over, drop right here, run your mineral line as fast as possible, deal as much damage as possible with blue flame hellions or banshees. In the meantime, he is finishing up his orbital. He's a little bit behind on that. And he has dropped 2 Marines, 3, 4, 5 are building. He needs to build another supply depot just finished here. And he's moving out to the middle for some map control, which is really good. When you want to do a push like this, you don't want your opponent to know what's going on. So the more denial position you can do, the better. Now I have 2 Marines, and I've not 100% been producing every second, but the general timing is how many Marines someone should have out of 1 barracks at this point in the game, or one would certainly hope so. A lot of SCVs and Marines being pulled here, and it looks like I am going to scout it. Yeah, I do scout it right here, and this is what tips me off. That is a lot of Marines. So I immediately say, oh snap, I need to go build some barracks at the top of my ramp. And his SCV just scouted my ramp to see how much I had. He didn't see any barracks, so he's thinking I'm good to go. Now he doesn't... Is he going to pull these 3 Marines? I don't think he pulls these 3 Marines that are here in the middle. And I think he might wait for reinforcements. At this point it's 10 Marines, 11 Marines versus 4. And I have a lot more SCVs, but I haven't pulled them over here yet, as I haven't seen him. Now I see him. But my barracks are almost done, so I don't want to pull my SCVs and cripple myself. I did not know SCVs were coming with this push, so I throw myself into the bunkers, and if I had more SCVs here, they could be repairing better. Hellion comes out, repairing this bunker as fast as possible. Marine's getting picked off. Should be throwing this Marine inside the bunker, but I haven't yet. Down to just the Hellion, and 1 Marine in the bunker. GG called. So here, the really important things are scouting. Obviously, my scout got to the last position possible. It ran over there and it was like, oh, a whole bunch of Marines. Crud. Throw down 2 racks. If I had been in a closer position, could have been more dangerous. But that's why I used to scout close positions first. I would have seen the number of Marines early and the below ramp barracks faster and thought that's really weird. Right when I saw it, I dropped down 2 bunkers. Don't be afraid to skimp on bunkers. I probably should have actually thrown down a 3rd near my mineral line and pulled all my SCVs to defend it, because if I win that push and have any SCVs left over, I win the game because I'm ahead of him economically because he brought everything he had over here. Now, it was only 12 SCVs, and when you don't see the other player's base, you're thinking, oh man, that he could have, like 4 or 5 left back there, so I don't want to get behind on econ by pulling every single one of my SCVs. But it's probably a good idea to pull your SCVs just to live, tank more damage, really play linebackers for your Marines. So this was stopping a all-in Marine SCV push as Terran in Terran vs. Terran.